Hello friend, you're welcome to this channel. My name is Dr. Marco Achukwujide. In the next few minutes, I will want to show you something very important. Sometimes we may have annual data, and for certain reasons, you may prefer to work with monthly or quarterly data. Okay? Usually, quarterly data or monthly data are high frequency data that can help someone model volatilities. Okay, and you may have other reasons why you may want to do that. Maybe the data set you have is not enough for time series analysis, and you want to use higher frequency to make sure you have enough data points. To do that is very, very simple. I will show you how to do that in 6 steps. This is Eviews environment. If you are not familiar with Eviews, please check my video for beginners, part 1 to 3. If you watch that video, you will familiarize yourself on how to do basic things using Eviews. But assuming you already know that, so we want to write on that understanding. The next to do is to click on Excel file. This is the Excel file. Okay. Now the Excel file shows that this is actually in annual, is an annual frequency. The next to do, so the first thing to do is to bring in your data into Eviews. You highlight the variables in question and copy in Excel. Control C, or you right click and copy. I want to use paste method. You right click on this Eviews platform and click either paste or paste as new work file. So I click paste as new work file. And then it is showing me this dialog box trying to ask if I am okay with the format in question here. If that is okay by you, you can quickly click finish. If you are not so sure, you may want to click next. You will see all the format that is going to use and drop your data. Next. And so it's fine by me. The next to do is to click finish. It's asking whether I want to link it up to the external source where I copied the data from. No, I do not want to link it. So this is our work file. Most people who are familiar with Eviews know how to get here. So let me walk you through the 6 steps for converting to higher frequency. Step number 1, highlight the variables in question. You click on each of them. Because you want to do multiple, you can click Control and select each one. Now we have selected all the variables we want to use. You may not bother putting the year. The system is going to generate that for you. Okay, so the next I will do is that step 1 is to highlight the variables you want to transform. Step number 2 is to copy. If you want to copy, you right click on this area that is highlighted. If I click elsewhere outside, the highlighted point will no longer be highlighted. You lose what you highlighted. Let me show you quickly. I try to right click here. It is gone. So don't make that mistake. Just click each of them, and on the points highlighted in color showing the variables highlighted, right click there and click copy. That is step 2. Step 3 is to click somewhere down here. You see, we are working on untitled page. There is this new page that is available here, which we can explore, and that is what we're going to use here. So step 3 is to click on the new page. Once you click there, it will give you options. So let me click there just once. It gives you a list of options, and the first of the options is specified by frequency stroke range. So that is our step 4. You click on that first option, specified by frequency or range. So that's our step 4. Okay, we click on step 4. It pops up a dialog box. This dialog box is where we need to define the frequency we want to use. It recognizes that our data is in annual form. Okay, we can select here using the drop down button here close to that annual. There are several options available. So let's select quarterly because we want to start with quarterly. I'll also show you how to do monthly. So you select quarterly. Okay. On this start date, you can specify the quarterly, like here, put in Q1 to stand in for quarter 1. But even if you don't do that, the system will automatically recognize that the variables in question are now being transformed into quarterly. So the next you need to do is to click OK. All right, that's so the step 5 there is clicking on this quarterly. That's step 5. So you see, this is quite simple. You click on that quarterly. If you have done that, you are good to go. So the next you need to do is to click OK. When we click OK, the system has created that new page for us. The new page is created, showing you your constant and your residue. Now, but if you check the range here and the sample, the system has specified that it's running from 1970 quarter 1 to 2012 quarter 4, giving us observation of 172 as against what we had in the beginning, 43 observations. So this is high frequency data. Okay, now this has changed. The next thing we need to do, remember, we have copied the variables. We copied these variables of interest. So on this new page, we're going to drop that variable, but you're going to drop it in a way that will allow you to have what you want to do. So we have done up to step 5. Step 5 is clicking on that drop down to select frequency, and that has created this new page for us when we clicked OK. So step 6 is to paste the data, the variable you copy. Now I will right click on this page. Right click. It shows different options. Select paste special. Paste special. When I click on it, it will pop up a dialog box from where we'll do the last stage of this task. So I click on paste special. All right, now it pops up this dialog box. 2 key things you need to specify here. The first is to see under this paste as, highlight series by value. Series by value. So you click on that. All right, now when it was on link, that's where it comes at default. So you click on series by value. Okay, now you have clicked on that series by value. The next is to go to this option where you have lower to high frequency method. Lower to high frequency method. Like I mentioned earlier, usually quarterly or monthly data provides high frequency data for modeling volatility, or maybe you don't have enough sample size and you want to expand it by using a high frequency data set. Okay, so under this low to high frequency, by default, you see it is as specified in source, but that is not what we want to do. We want to specify it using linear. All right, so using a linear method, the system will generate that new frequency for us, the high frequency, move it from lower to higher. So we select on that. Now before we select that, watch that this match, there's nothing there. Okay, so we'll quickly select linear, and then it shows us the option for match, whether it's first or last. So you leave it at default first. If it appears last, select first. Okay, the next you need to do to leave this particular dialog box is to click OK for all. OK for all. All right, that is done, and the system has quickly given us our data in quarterly form. 172 observations. Now remember earlier that when we click on each of them, it shows annual. Let me click this exchange rate now. You see it's in quarterly form. 1970 quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. 1971, the same thing in that order until the end of the data set, which is wherever it stops. Okay, so that is what you observe. All right, beautiful. So the same thing with export. When you also click on it, it gives you the data range for quarter as against annual. So that is how to convert from annual data to quarterly data. To do monthly, you just follow the same step. If you permit me, I will ask you to do it before you continue. Can you pause this video now and try to do it? Just follow the same step. The same steps I've shown you, just follow it. And then when you have done it, if you got it, you give yourself a kudos. I mean, learning is by practicing. Okay, so try to do it and then continue. Thank you very much. I want to hope you did it. So let me quickly show you my own way of doing it. Remember that we have copied this data in question. We have not changed anything. So here we click on new data, new page. Want to convert to monthly. You see our annual is 172. Let's see what happens in monthly. On this new page, you click once, specify by frequency. All right. Instead of quarterly, you select monthly. Beautiful. Don't bother about this that is still showing quarterly. If you want, you can remove it and leave it as only 1970. But even if you leave it, the system will automatically generate monthly for us. So we click OK. Beautiful. So it has generated monthly. 1970 month 1 to 2012 month 12. And that has given us how many observations? 516. That's high frequency data time series data. Okay, so the next you are going to do is to paste like we did before, but you don't just paste ordinarily with Ctrl V. You paste special. That's what you use. So click on paste special. Under paste special, click on series by value. Then under low to high frequency method, not specified by source, click on linear. Okay, and leave it as first. Then click OK for all. Beautiful. Our data set is now in monthly. Let me open the Excel file and see what it looks like. I mean the exchange rate, right? Yeah, these are exchange rates. You see, 1970 month 1 till 1970 month 12. Before 1971 month 1 till 1971 month 12. And that gives you high frequency data sets. All right. Finally, if you are working with this data set, you may want to rename your untitled page to avoid confusion. If I want to rename this to monthly, you just right click on this untitled 2, then rename work file. I will name it monthly. So that each time I look at this data set, I can always remember what it stands for. Then this is quarterly. Right click, then rename. I'll type quarter. Okay. All right, quarterly. Then the one for annual, you rename and type annual. And that's fine. All right. So in case you want to save this data set you are working with, you click on save and then save it in your file. So next time you want to work with that data set, if you click on file, you see what you have saved somewhere. And if you open it, it will pull it out for you to continue the process or the analysis you are doing. Thank you very much for giving attention to this. I wish you the very, very best. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Best wishes in your analysis. Cheers. God bless you.